Hello everyone and welcome back to the Somnium Files. In the last session, number 89 broke out and escaped from police custody, aided by Renju, who was his getaway driver. So we are currently on the hunt for Renju, even more so than we already were. Iris just performed a lovely song and dance routine for us. That was very nice. And I think we actually wrapped up chatting to everyone here, right? Yeah, we just got the summarized for me bit. So let's continue on and see where...
Unfortunately, we didn't find Renju here.
See where things go today.
But we discovered that he was looking for Iris.
But why?
We can think about that later. Let's get going.
Yeah, you're right.
Okie doke, off to Ikume Shrine. Ikume? Something like that. Whoa,
you okay?
You alright?
It's okay. I just, missed a step there.
You okay? You alright? You're good? Your thoughts?
It's nostalgic. This place is a memorable one for me. 6 years ago, I used to come here with someone.
6 years ago, eh?
Someone?
I used to call him Uncle. He was a thoughtful, reliable man. I thought of him as a father.
Well, that's not going to be 89, right? Because she wouldn't, like, she thought of him, like, she did think of 89 as a father, but she wouldn't call him Uncle, would she? Why would she call him Uncle? It would be just Dad if they were that... Well, no, I don't know. They said they'd only been together a few months, right? How quickly do you start calling someone Dad when they join your family? I don't know.
But one day, he just disappeared.
She's talking about...
Okay, I guess, yeah. Maybe this is the Japanese thing, that you call them Uncle. Actually, isn't Uncle like a word of, like, showing respect or something in Japanese? I'm not entirely sure.
Hitomi's lover.
About this uncle.
When you asked me why I became an idol, I wasn't being entirely truthful. I told you that it was because I wanted to become famous. But more specifically, it was for Uncle. I've been looking for him for 6 years, but I didn't find him anywhere.
Yeah, that's because, man's went prison.
I didn't know where else to look. So instead of me finding him, I thought that he could find me instead.
You think if you became famous, he'd contact you?
Yeah.
You only knew him for a few months. You must have made a bit of an impression, so, like, I assume you've asked your mum about it. Hasn't she said? Does she not want you to know?
So that is why she became an idol.
I mean, it's also been my dream since I was little. That's a part of it, too.
So why do you use the name Asa? Shouldn't you use your real name?
Oh no, I don't have to. He was the one who came up with the name Aset. He told me that if I ever became an idol, I should use that name.
Okay. About Renju.
Mr. Okura isn't here. I mean, of course he isn't. It's not like we came here right away.
He's already taken off.
Too bad.
It looks like there are no further clues here. It appears we've wasted our time.
About this shrine.
It's called Ikume Iribiko Isachi no Mikoto, or sometimes Ikume Tenno, or Ikume no Mikoto.
It's called the Shrine, mate.
There are legends about this place written in the old text. It's a shrine dedicated to the gods. The old legend goes like this. One day, Ikume Iribiko sent one of his followers, Taji Momori, on an urgent quest to find a mysterious magical fruit. A fruit called Tokijiku no Kaku. It's said that eating it will grant you immortality. After many hardships, Taji Momori was able to find the fruit, but by the time he got back, Ikume Iribiko had died. Taji Momori mourned. He handed half of the fruit to the man's wife, and he left the other half on Ikume Iribiko's grave, then died on the spot.
What? Why?
It is said that that fruit is still inside the shrine behind us.
Let's fucking break in.
Really? The fruit of immortality.
Yes.
Immortality, huh?
Not interested?
No, not really. I'd rather have normality than immortality.
I'd quite like to know what the world looks like in 5,000 years' time. So, I'll take that immortality.
A flower over there.
Can you even imagine? Like, you say 5,000 years' time, and you're just like... I don't know, it's like... We're only in the year 2022. Like... Can you imagine what the world will be like in that time from 0 to where we are now, and then, like, twice that amount into the future? It must be, like, it will be insane. And it really sucks that we will never, ever know what that is like, because we will all be dead within the next 90-odd years, you know?
Flower?
You can't see it from here, can you? I know it's there because I've been to this shrine before.
I'm curious about the flower Iris is looking at. Oh, I'm supposed to turn around and look. These? Wow, yes, my night vision has really helped there. It's just made them look shit.
An iris. More specifically, a winter iris.
Oh, these were in her house.
This is the same flower that was on display at Iris's house.
Yeah. You're looking at a winter iris, aren't you?
Yeah. How did you know? It's the same kind that's at my house. I told you about what it means, right?
Good news and hope.
Iris is also a part of the eye, and the Greek goddess of rainbows. A messenger goddess. I told you at Sunfish Pocket, right? That's why the flower means good news and hope.
Cool.
Date, we have no time to waste. We should get moving.
Got it.
Onwards to the warehouse. The House of Wares.
I saw it. I'm sure. Your corpse, Iris. Right here.
But I'm here now. Maybe I'm a ghost.
Ooh, spooky.
You don't look like a floating sheet. You have legs.
But maybe they're not legs. Maybe they're my boobs.
What? Okay.
Didn't you say that you saved me in your dream? What did you mean by that?
I told you that I'm with an organization called Abyss, right?
Yeah, you told me 2 days ago.
We find clues in the minds of suspects and witnesses. We enter what we call a Somnium, a dream world projected by their subconscious. That's what the entire organization is about.
How do you even do that?
We have a machine that we call the sync machine.
What is that?
It's a sync machine.
That's not an explanation. Tell me how it works.
Well, I can explain, but it will require a bit of background to understand.
Background?
Do you know about the BBB? What the fuck's that?
I've heard of it. The blood-brain barrier, right?
Sure, I haven't.
Inside the skull, there's an army of little teeny-tiny soldiers that surround the brain. They protect the brain from bad stuff in the blood, right?
That's almost it, yeah.
The blood-brain barrier describes the architecture of the microvessels of the brain. It is a kind of shield that protects the brain. To get through, an object must be no larger than 0.4 nanometers. Objects too large to slip through the barrier cannot physically access the brain.
Do you know about nanotech?
Nanotech? Yeah! Technology related to really small things. Like really teeny tiny things. And when they make a machine, they're called nanomachines. I heard they use them a lot for medical and tech fields. Some of the cutting-edge nanomachines can even go inside your body and cure illnesses. They can even cure cancer. And they go beep, beep, beep. That's what Mom said. Well, I don't know if it was like beep, beep or rrr.
I don't think they really make much of a noise.
But anyway, nanotechnology costs tons of money. Only a few people can even afford it. My college professor said only the richest of the rich have nanotechnology. But he's pretty liberal, so...
Largely accurate. Nano is a prefix meaning 10 to the negative 9th power. A nanometer is therefore 0.0000000001 meters. The sync machine uses machines approximately 2.16 nanometers long. Viruses are on average 20 to 970 nanometers. So sync nanomachines are far smaller than that. This allows them to access neural circuitry. During a sync, the nanomachines are used to write in the syncer's data.
Do you know about the Wadget system?
I guess not.
No, I know what it is. It's the core programming behind AI, right?
That's right. What's wrong?
What?
You're shivering.
It's nothing. Don't worry about it.
No, I'm worried. She got very sad when she heard about it.
To borrow Pewter's explanation, with the advent of the Wadjet system, we can extract the data of the human psyche.
Is she an AI? What if? What if the real Iris was killed? And this is a replacement? This is some fucking... like, AI. Like, that wouldn't be, I feel, out of the realm of possibility for a game named with AI in the title. Obviously, that's not how you pronounce it in the title, but, like... what if she's not actually real? Or, like, human, at least.
This data is sent to the brain, which achieves the sync.
I don't know why the fuck she'd be getting sad hearing about AI. I don't know. But then... she probably wouldn't know that she was AI. I don't know. It's probably nothing to do with that at all. I'm just spitballing. Here's how sync works.
Okay, you have the basics down. Let me explain how syncing works. Syncers
They're just gonna move on from that,
sync
huh?
gear and use it to access the subject's brain.
She just visibly gets very sad, and then they move on.
Inside the helmet are nano cables. And on the tip of each of these cables is a special nano machine. But the machine can't reach the brain through blood alone. Do you know why?
The BBB soldiers say, go away, and push them back?
Well, yeah, kind of. But for the sync to work, we have to get the nanomachines into the brain itself. How do we do that?
Drill a hole in the skull?
No.
In Shovel Forge, you can use a pickaxe, and...
No, it has nothing to do with tools. We don't have to open a hole. Skulls already have holes in them. One of those holes is the optic canal, which is a nerve canal located behind the eyes. The nanocables of the sync gear go through your eyes, then go to the back of your eye socket, then through the optic canal to the sea.
Yeesh.
The sea?
The sea of brain cells, anyway.
That sounds kind of romantic.
It's only a chunk of protein.
You probably don't feel it, but that's still scary to think about. Oh yes, I'll just have these nanomachines go through my eye.
Once the nanocables arrive at their destination, they can begin the sync process. They slide into the brain like roots of a tree, and on the tip of each cable, the nanomachine sends and receives data. This is controlled by the Wadjet system, and that's how the syncer and the subject exchange information.
Exchange?
Think of it this way. The human brain has a max capacity of one psyche, one consciousness.
Multiple instances of consciousness inside one brain can cause a total collapse of higher brain functions.
You know how a car only has one steering wheel? If there were two, there would be accidents all over the place.
Well, don't some planes have 2 control sticks?
Okay, maybe it wasn't the best metaphor. What I'm trying to say is that the human body can only hold one person. If you try to have 2 people inside one brain, it will break.
I see.
Okay.
Because of this, the syncer's data goes inside the subject's brain. And the only thing inside the subject's mind at the time of the sync are their memories. Like a house with no one inside. We syncers break into the house, look for clues, and leave. All within 6 minutes.
There's a time limit?
Yes, or else the house will collapse on our heads.
The neural circuits would become too deeply entwined with one another. To put it simply, the sinker would be trapped inside the subject's house.
Thank you for explaining it. I don't completely understand how sync works, but still.
Just don't tell anyone. This is extremely confidential.
Oh, yeah. Like that's gonna happen.
It's okay, I won't.
Uh-huh.
Date, tell me this.
This is like, I hadn't even considered the fact that this is like super ultra classified, and he's just spewing it out to a fucking teenager he met like a few days ago. Actually, no. Is she a teenager or is she like early 20s? I can't remember. I think she's like early 20s, right? Well, we can check. She is... Oh, no, she is 18. Who was it that I was thinking of that was early 20s then? Was it Ota? Yeah, it was Ota that's early 20s. He looks like he's younger than her, but he's 6 years older. Still 3 people we haven't met, huh?
Who did you sync with yesterday?
Didn't I show you his picture? Congressman So Sejima.
So that's why you know so much about him.
But you've never met him, right?
Heh, I know so much about him. Ha!
I haven't, I swear. Hey, Date. You saw my corpse here, right?
I did. I'm sure of it.
And in SoStream, you saved me from getting killed.
Yeah.
And then somehow, I resurrected.
Yeah.
I really don't think it is that he changed things. I think what happened would have happened regardless of him syncing with So or not, but the question is, did she die and this is some kind of replacement, or did she never die in the first place? Like, the fact that he dreamed about it before it happened as well makes me think it's just got to be a hallucination, but I don't know if that's too simple an answer. I don't know.
Date, that means you're... Achoo!
Date, is the cold too much for Iris?
Yeah, I'm freezing too. Iris, let's get out of here for now.
Roger that!
Let's go back to Matsushita Diner, where Ota is.
I'm so hungry.
Tessa? Why are you here?
I told Date I was hungry, so...
I've always wanted to eat here.
I'll have my usual, Ota.
Yes, right away.
Ota flew into the kitchen. Iris watched him go and took a seat. Where's your mum?
She's in the living room. I think she's watching TV.
How about you? What are you doing here?
I was just doing some meditation, lying on the ground.
He means sleeping.
Date, why are you with Tessa?
Because we're bros, bitch.
We are
Not Shovel Forge.
on a date.
Oh, a date. Huh. A date?
I was like, he's taking that well. And then he did not take that well.
I'm on an investigation, and she wouldn't let me go.
Date, I have some delicious fugu eggs. I promise they're not poisoned. Would you like some?
No, but feel free to fucking swallow him down.
No thanks. I'm fine.
Where's Renju? I don't know why he'd know.
You're still looking for him? Well, like I told you before, I don't know. Yeah, my dad taught me when I was little.
You're making me something too, right?
Sure, my treat, Date.
I don't know that I want you to make me anything, actually. What's your usual?
Omelet rice. Ota's omelet rice is so good it gives me stomach cramps.
I'm not sure that's good.
Is that a compliment?
You're embarrassing me.
Well, Ota appears to have taken it as a compliment.
You been here before then?
Yeah, I have.
Have you met Ota's mother, Mayumi?
Yeah, but I don't think she likes me.
That's not true.
That is very true.
Mom is just jealous of how pretty you are, Tessa.
Not very reassuring. Whether out of jealousy or otherwise, she still doesn't like Iris.
About your resurrection.
Iris, about your coming back to life.
Hold it! What do you mean coming back to life?
I decided to tell Ota about Iris's resurrection.
Date jumped into a parallel world where I'm still alive.
Tessa died?
Yep.
Yep. About the parallel world.
Hey, can you tell me about this parallel world idea in more detail?
Oh, sure. How should I explain this? Well, Oh, I know. Let's play rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, if we tie, nothing happens. We just shake hands. If I win, you have to give me something.
What if I win?
I'll do anything.
Anything?
Mm-hmm. Anything.
Why do you have to make that hand movement?
Date, your heart rate is rapidly
Oh
increasing.
boy, I hope I lose.
Why exactly is that?
All right, let's do this.
Okay, let's go. 1, 2, 3, shoot.
What should I throw out? Paper.
Shoot.
Fuck.
Fuck! Yeah!
Is that... Feel free to let me know. Is that scripted? Like, whatever you pick, do you win every time? Or is that just chance?
Date, calm down. You're going to pop a blood vessel.
Aw, I lost. But I made a promise. What do you want me to do?
If it's no trouble, I want to see your...
See what?
Let me see... See...
This is so cringe.
I will kill you if you say it.
I want to die.
See... seal. I meant seal.
Seal?
Not the smoothest recovery.
Oh, I get it. You want to see me imitate a seal.
No, Iris, please.
Okay, well, here it goes, I guess. Nom 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 nom.
Tessa, what are you doing?
Oh, why
We
is
just play rock,
Date
paper, scissors, right?
the actual worst fucking person? I wish I was playing like any other character, man.
You won, and you made me be a seal for some reason. But in a different timeline, maybe we tied. Or maybe I got a prize from you.
If I had chosen rock or paper...
So those timelines are what I'd call
I
a
did choose
parallel
paper.
world.
He said if I'd chosen rock or paper, but I did choose paper. So that's just a line he says no matter what you choose. And I guess they just assume you chose scissors? Which I did not. So, that's weird.
So you think I jumped from a world in which you were dead to this one where you're alive?
That's what I think.
Huh. Parallel world, huh?
That would be very cool. If they actually integrate the timelines into the story, that would be amazing, and I would fucking love it. Do I actually think they're going to do that? Or do I just think they're like spitballing ideas that aren't actually going to be correct? Probably? I don't know. If they actually do take this timeline and they actually somehow integrate it into the story so it's not just a gameplay mechanic, I will be over the moon. I will love that.
I can't believe it, but...
Sure you can. Parallel worlds exist. Do you know about the Mandela effect? Or the Booba Kiki effect?
I don't know about the latter.
Or the 100 million balls? If I explained that, would you believe me?
Go for it.
Sounds really interesting, Tessa. I know some urban legends like that.
Yeah, we're not talking to you.
The spatial temporal man, and the lost friend, and the story of two sisters.
I've got one about the story of the kid who fucked off. It was you, Ota. I've heard people talking about it. Okay, well, we'll do the one I know first. Mandela effect?
Do you know Nelson Mandela?
Well, yeah. The former president of South Africa. He helped abolish apartheid.
He died in 2013, but a strange thing happened. When the news broke, people all over the world thought, didn't Mandela die in prison in 1980? That's the Mandela effect. It's when your memory and history have discrepancies. There are lots of examples, like the name of this kid's book with the bears having different spellings, or people remembering that Kennedy was assassinated in a 4-seat car, but in our world, he was in a 6-seat car.
Huh. I thought it was a 4-seater too.
Or that electric mouse from that video game. You probably remember the tip of its tail being black.
It wasn't?
Nope, it's all yellow.
Is it talking about Pikachu?
And the design didn't change.
Oh.
Lines from movies, company logos, historical events, and little things. The Mandela effect is everywhere. Why do you think that is?
Because people's memory is shit?
Because those memories are from parallel worlds?
That would explain it, I guess.
Okay, hit me with 100 million balls.
This world is full of really interesting stuff. But you know the most interesting thing of all?
No, what?
That humans exist at all.
The universe developed in a very particular way to get here.
I mean, the odds of any of us being here is, like, fucking insane, right? And every generation, it gets more and more unlikely that that person will exist. Because, like, it's like, well, they might go in. I don't know if this is going to be what they say, but
different. Well, the galaxies and solar system and all of that might not have existed at all.
okay, they're just talking on a larger scale. But, like, if we go down to when Mummy and Daddy love each other very much, you've got, like, a, 1 in 100 million chance of you being the one that reaches the egg. And so, like, that in itself is just a fucking insane chance that you're the one that made it. And then, for that to have happened, both of your parents had to be the one that made it. And then, back another generation, both of their parents, for each of them, had to have been the one that made it. So it's like this minuscule chance compounded upon minuscule chance, which is just like the odds of you existing here today is just fucking insane.
And that means humans would never be born. And even if everything happened exactly like that, the probability of human life developing is extremely low. And yet, here we are. Imagine a box full of ping pong balls, labeled 1 to 100 million.
Big box.
Would you be able to pick out the one?
Not likely.
But what if there were 100 million of you?
Well, then one of us would definitely pick up the one.
Exactly! The birth of humanity is so improbable that it's basically a miracle. But if there were multiple universes...
Then it wouldn't be strange that at least one of them had humans in it.
She is describing the anthropic principle. I may have underestimated her intelligence.
Okay,
Dante,
what's
look
this?
at this picture.
What's this Kiki effect? Iris pulled up a picture on her phone.
There's a famous experiment regarding this picture. You show this image to people around the world and ask a question. Which one is Booba and which one is Kiki? Believe it or not, 98% of people asked have the same answer.
Okay, I'm gonna say the bottom one is Kiki.
The rounder one is Booba, and the jagged one is Kiki.
Well, I'm part of the 98%.
Isn't that weird? In other words, everyone thinks that Booba is a certain way, and Kiki is the other. It applies universally across languages and cultures.
That's strange. I guess it's because the K sound, like, is a harsher sound, Kiki. So, and a harsher sound would more align in your mind with a jagged, pointy, sharp edge kind of thing.
It's like something ingrained inside all humans. Like worshipping the sun and the sea.
Hell yeah, worship.
Or thinking that the mother is soft and the father is jagged. Regardless of your culture or background, you probably think this way. It's what Jung called the collective unconscious.
She really is fucking smart. She must have been replaced by an AI. Is Iris this smart? Is Iris this smart, or is this a fucking AI? Is this an A-Iris?
There exists a second psychic system of a collective, universal, and impersonal nature, which is identical in all individuals. That's what Yoon said about it. Think of it like bamboo. Bamboo stalks look like individual plants since they're separated, but underground, they're all connected. Human psyches might be like that too, connected at a subconscious level.
We're all connected, man. Yeah, man.
That's...
The parallel world?
Yeah! You saved me in the dream, right? And dreams are all about our subconscious minds. So if you follow the roots...
You get to another bamboo stalk.
Yeah, something like that.
Iris is sitting in front of me. You got something to say? Oh boy. Oh no. Oh god. Oh god, he wasn't just throwing out extra things, he's also gonna talk about them? Fuck. The lost friend.
There's this kid, A. He's in elementary school. Well, A had this close friend named Suzuki. One day, after school, they're walking home together. A turns around to tell Suzuki a joke, and Suzuki is laughing his butt off. And he's laughing and laughing, and he laughs so hard that his eyes fall out of their sockets.
Normal. Standard.
What?
Well, they were hanging down out of his eye sockets. The nerves were still connected, but... A is, of course, in shock and doesn't know what to do. Suzuki just takes his eyeballs and jams them back into his eye sockets and keeps walking like nothing happened. So A asks him about it. Like, hey, are you okay? Your eyes fell out. A is really concerned for his friend, you know? But Suzuki just says, yeah, I'm fine. He doesn't say anything about it. And by now, A is really curious. But he's not getting any answers. So they just part ways and go home. The story only gets weirder from here. The next day, A goes to school, and Suzuki's not there. A is confused and asks his teacher about it. Hey, where's Suzuki today? And the teacher says, Suzuki? Who's that? There's no Suzuki in this class. A says, what are you talking about? And he goes and asks all of his classmates about Suzuki.
And none of them know him.
They all say the same thing. I don't know him. There's no Suzuki in this class.
So that kid must have jumped into a parallel world without Suzuki.
That's what I think.
What the fuck has the eye thing got to do with it? The eye's falling out.
Couldn't Suzuki just be an imaginary friend or something?
No, A was really serious about remembering Suzuki.
It is weird, and there's no way you can pop your eyeballs back in like that.
Well, not necessarily. There's such a thing as a dislocated eye. It actually isn't too hard to put your eye back in if it falls out.
Ota is correct. Dislocated eyes are easy to replace in their sockets.
Oh, no, thank you. Don't want to imagine having to fucking hold my eyeball in my hand and pop it back in my head.
As long as none of the nerves or blood vessels were damaged, there are usually no lasting negative effects either.
That's such a disgusting thought. Holy fuck. Imagine holding your eye in your hand. Oh, and if it was still connected, wouldn't you still be seeing out of it? So you'd have half your vision, like, looking out the eye that's in your head, and half your vision looking into the palm of your hand? Ugh.
But that doesn't prove this Suzuki exists.
Well, I guess not, but...
Okay, that's interesting. You can just stop there, but we won't. The two sisters?
So, there's this girl? Let's call her B. She's practicing piano in her room, and her little sister is watching TV in the same room. B asks her to turn the TV volume down so she can hear her piano playing, you know? So B goes back to practicing, playing a little bit. But her sister doesn't turn the volume down. She's not listening at all. So B turns around to scold her. She was really gonna let her sister have it, but she's gone. She's nowhere to be seen. She thinks, I wonder where she went. But then B hears her sister at the door. I'm home. B runs to the front door and sees her sister and her parents standing there. So B asks, when did you go outside? But her mom says, what are you talking about? She went shopping with me. B is really confused by all of this, of course. She asks her little sister about it, and she learns that her favorite TV show was on. And before she went shopping with her mom, she was deciding whether or not she wanted to stay and watch it or not.
So depending on her decision, a parallel world was made.
Yeah, what B saw might have been from the world where her sister stayed behind.
The spatial temporal man?
Yeah, it's sort of like a common experience. A lot of people have experienced waking up in an uninhabited world they've never seen before.
Pardon? A lot of people have experienced this?
And most of them describe seeing the same person. The spatial temporal man. He's supposed to be an ordinary old man wearing work clothes. The spatial temporal man guides people back to the real world. He tells them, this world is not for you, or something.
I'd like to meet him someday.
I mean, I never remember my dreams, so... what about others?
So, this elementary school kid, let's call him C. He goes to school and there's a bunch of things on the floor. Postcards, towels, a coffee cup, rice bowls, a sink, lots of stuff. But C realized that those were all things from his own house.
How did they get to the classroom?
No one knows. It's not like anyone did it on purpose or there was a thief or anything.
Maybe something happened that made two parallel worlds fuse.
Yeah, maybe.
Anything else?
I know a ton of stories like this. Like being suddenly transported 1 year into the future, and there's a missing persons report out for you. You look down at your phone, but you realize that it's not yours. It's not the one you remember having. You look through the contacts, and it's filled with names you don't recognize.
Sounds scary.
There's more, too. Like this town where everyone is Japanese, but they're speaking a completely different language. And all the signs and magazines and stuff have different letters. And it's not like Korea or China. It's the Japan we know, but the language is different.
That's a prime example of a parallel world.
Alright, hit me with that juicy summary.
When did you two get so knowledgeable?
Oh, I don't know.
Tessa is always writing about this stuff on the internet.
Really? Okay, she's not an AI then. This is not something that's new.
That's why I decided to research it too. That's
course
how I
it
learned
is.
all this stuff. Oh, hey, I know about conspiracies and secret societies too. I find that stuff fascinating. If you want, we could talk about those.
Maybe next time. Now where's that omelet rice?
Done.
Ota brought the dish over. He laid out an omelette rice in front of me and Iris. Iris grabbed her spoon with a huge smile on
Bon
her
appetit.
face. She picked up a spoonful. No, actually, she tried to pick up a spoonful. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Tessa, are you okay?
I'm fine. My hand slipped.
Something's going on with her. She stumbled at the shrine. She's dropping the spoon here.
Let's eat.
Something's going on. Something's not right. Iris and I ate the omelette rice in near silence. There was no conversation, just the sound of the spoon hitting the plate. The diner echoed with it. And before long,
Thanks for the food.
Iris was totally re-energized. Her face was back to her usual easy smile.
That was good. Ota, your omelet rice is seriously the best.
What's going on with you?
Yeah, it was actually really good.
Aw, thanks. I owe it to my dad. He taught me well.
I paid for the food and stood to go.
Let's get going, Iris.
Thanks again.
Thank you. Come back soon.
Okay, something's up. Something is up. Let us head back to Mama.